UEFA have a massive problem and it needs fixing now. Yo, what's up, it's your boy BG82, welcome back to another video. If you do enjoy, please like, please subscribe, please comment, please share, do all of that cool stuff, you know. And I would like to speak on today, UEFA and what they need to do to save the Europa and the Conference League. Because these two competitions right now are being run over by the English teams and that will continue to happen. Brighton are going to win the conference next year. The real test to my whole belief on this system and how everything's working right now within European football is the Europa League next year. You have heavyweights in there. You do. But the English sides are very weak. Bournemouth, Sunderland, Crystal Palace. So, if an English team wins next year's Europa League, which I personally believe, right now, my gut tells me Bournemouth will win the Europa League. If that is to happen, then English football is almost too strong for UEFA and they need to take action. Right, 9 teams in Europe. Let's just get the other way. Half the league is in Europe. Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs aren't even in Europe. And there's still 9 teams. 2 of the big 6 aren't qualified. And Newcastle, probably the richest club in terms of ownership, haven't qualified. And there's still 9 teams going that are all very, very good and are all probably some of the favourites for their competitions. So, what do UEFA do about this? Because, quite frankly, it's bad for England and it's bad for UEFA. England having 9 teams is too much. Say goodbye to your 3 PM kickoffs. If you want a 3 PM, you're done. 3 PM blackout, nah. 3 PM wipeout because they're wiped out the calendar. It's that simple. There is no more slot for them. They're not going to fit. Half the league's going to have to play on a Sunday and they can't play on a Monday and they can't play on a Saturday. Champions League teams are going to play every Saturday, but they'll want them in the TV slots. And then Monday's going to have to just become Newcastle, Chelsea, Tottenham, whatever, right? So, where do UEFA go from here? Now, they invented the new system, which I love, by the way, especially in the Champions League. Top 8, automatic, middle 8, playoffs, middle 16, playoffs, and obviously, or the bottom line, you get gone. But in the Europa League and Conference League, it's having a negative effect because in previous years, with the group stage, they would drop down the teams that weren't quite good enough, whereas now they're not. Which brings me on to my first solution. The teams that lose in the Champions League playoffs drop down to the Europa League and make up the second lot of 8. And the same with the Europa League. The teams that finish from places 9 to 16, they become part of the 8 in the Conference League. That could work. I personally wouldn't do it though. My problem with that one is it almost feels as if you're rewarding failure. And I'm not a fan of that. I feel once you're out, sort of thing. And that was one of the things I didn't like about the old system, was how you could just drop down, but it did make the tournament more competitive. So it depends which way you want to look at it. Another solution I saw doing the rounds was a budget cap. So I don't think I explained that well with a budget cap. Maybe more, it would make better sense if I called it a value limit, a limit cap, a value cap, something like that, where the squad that you select for the Conference League now, Europa League's a different issue. For the Conference League, you have a limit of £200 million. So you can't have spent more than £200 million on the players you have selected to go. You have to select a squad that is worth a total of value spent by the club £200 million. An academy, well, they can just get a free pass. That is an idea I like. And to be honest with you, it's probably one of the best solutions we're going to come up with. Another potential idea is that if you've previously won a European trophy or a league title or something in a window, you can't play in the Conference League. Maybe because like Chelsea were in it last year, but they very recently won the Champions League. So Chelsea were always going to win that tournament. It almost seemed inevitable. But for me, the winning solution is undoubtedly the top 2 coefficient. So I believe that was England and Spain this year. Correct me if I'm wrong on the Spain one. They can't compete in the Conference League. So their Conference League spot turns into a Champions League spot. And those extra Conference League... And those extra Conference League spots spread out to however you want to do it. It's a smaller nation. The problem they have is they can't go, right, if you're from England, you can't play. They can't do that, right? There'll be too much uproar. even though it's really the English teams that are the problem. Rayo Vallecano are awful. A Rayo Vallecano v Freiburg final, that would it be classed as a football game? I don't know. But that's sort of level and the difference in level, and because of that, I feel they have to make that change. They have to. The Conference League was meant to be something for the smaller nations, yet it's not becoming that. And the Europa League is also at a bit of a problem. I feel for the Europa League, you may have to scrap the playoffs. I love the playoffs though. I do love them. I don't know how you fix the Europa League. I really don't. Like, it's such a confusing one to get your head around, because it could just be a phase. There was a phase where Spain was sort of dominating it, and because of that, I would leave the Europa League for now. Conference League, I think they do have to act now, because it's been around I don't know how many years. You've already had West Ham, Chelsea, Palace win it, but the Premier League is so much stronger, and everybody can see that it is stronger, especially with this new format where the teams aren't dropping down. It's really easy for the English team to win. So because of that, I'd say Europa League leave for now. If Bournemouth, Palace or Sunderland win it, then you've got to open your radar up, because 17th versus 15th was the final 2 seasons ago. Last season we had Villa versus Freiburg, where Villa versus Forest would really have been the final, let's be honest, if they hadn't got each other in the semis. So Europa League for now, but you've got to keep an eye on it, UEFA. Conference League, boom, you're in big trouble. You're having big trouble in becoming just the 8th best team in England. They win the Conference League and losing its meaning. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. What would you do with the Conference League? Is it as big an issue as I'm making out? I don't know. It feels like every year I'm going, oh, well, the English team will win that. And I know, I don't feel it should be that. I feel it should be a tournament to celebrate sort of like the smaller nations, because that's what we all love. We all, you know, a little underdog. Like something good about a team being bad. Like at the World Cup, when teams are bad, you love it. You get what I mean? So yeah, that's all for today. If you enjoy it, please like the video, please subscribe, please share, and go check out my other videos if you want to. More coming. Conference League sorted out. Jean-Philippe Mateta though, that celebration, what? And just to clarify, I'm not taking anything away from Palace. Like, it's incredible for them. Absolutely incredible, right? And the whole, the way Mateta kicked the corner, and then the whole Palace players went behind and did the same thing, that was really cool. I'm not taking away from Palace, celebrating it. It is a major trophy, whatever people say. But I fear that it could quickly lose its legitimacy if it's the same nation winning every year. But you celebrate that trophy. You celebrate it. Anyway, that's it. Been your boy. Like and subscribe. Peace.